Hey, Basic Math 7 people, we're finishing up the class exercises on lesson 9.5, discount and markup. This is that grid that we've had to deal with before, except we're doing the bottom part of it this time. Now, there's a couple of tricky ones on here, and we'll kind of walk through them on how to do it. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Let me get my chart up here. We have old price again. Then we've got the percent of change. Then we should have the amount of change. Remember, I use AOC for amount of change. And then we have the new price. Now, in the first 5, they did different things. They give us different things to figure out how to do the other parts, right? So let's look at number 6 and see what they give us, and then let's see if we can figure out what the answers are for the ones they don't give us. So in this one, they continue to give us the old price, which is $250 in this one. And they don't give us the percent of change, but they do give us the amount of change, which was 100% or $100, and then they tell us what it was. It was a discount. That means it went down in price. Okay, so whenever we discount, we go down in price. We mark up, we go up in price. And so adding and subtracting are what we need to think about. And so then on that one also, they don't give us the new price. Okay, so the easy one to find here is the new price, because if we know how much change has happened, all we have to do is say, okay, is it a discount or a markup? It's a discount, so we're going to subtract 100 from 250 here. Okay, so 250 minus 100 will give us what that new price is there. Then all we have to do to find the percent of change, if we remember our formula for percent of change, it's the amount of change over the old price or the old amount, based on what we talked about on previous lessons. So take the amount of change and divide it by the old price. So I've set up that problem for you. We'll get a decimal answer, and in order to change that decimal answer to a percent, you have to multiply by 100 or move the decimal to the right twice, right? So we get a decimal, and then we have to change to the percent. Okay, so we have we get the decimal answer and we change it to a percent, and that will give us our percent of change. Remember, move it 2 places to the right or multiply by 100. Okay, once again, you can use your calculator on this part here. Okay, now let's move on. Okay, fortunately, in none of these class exercises, you're not gonna get into any messy things with the percents like decimal places. Okay, so we don't have to do that. Let's go on to number 7. Okay, I'm going to change these out here. That way I just have enough room. Matter of fact, I'm going to erase my lines a little bit here because we'll just put one up at a time. Number 7. If you need to look at it again, you can review the video. Okay, so on this one, they don't give us the old price. They give us the 2 in the middle. They give us the percent of change, and they give the amount of change, 42, and then, or 48, excuse me, and then they tell us that it's gone down. It's down 48%. Okay? So, this one can be a bit tricky. We can think about it here, because in order to find out what the old price is, all right, we have the amount of change. Okay, I got that. That would be $48. I have the percent of change, because that's what amount of change over gives us the percent. Okay, so I have 48 over the old price, which I don't know. Okay, so I don't know what the old price is, but I know when I do that, I get 12%. Okay, because I can do that, I can actually figure out what the old price is. All right, this is the way I do that. what I have to do, let's see here, let's think about this. We have to swap out the old price and the percent sign. So to find out what the old price is, let's think about that. If I made the old price n, if I multiplied by n on both sides, I could cancel that out. And I have $48 equals 12% times the old price. Okay? That's also probably the formula, well, that would be the, yeah, that's the amount of change formula. Okay? The amount of change formula looks like this. Okay? That's all the way back on page 292. If you look at that formula on that page, that's what that is. So then what I end up doing is changing my percent to a decimal, moving it to the left twice, and dividing that number by 0.12. Okay, so when I do that, so the answer for the old price answer, I've got to take 48 divided by 0.12. Then I'm going to take this answer and subtract 48 to get my new price. So whatever 48 divided by 0.12 is, subtract that $48, and that will give us our new price because we're discounting. Okay? We're going to do the same thing for number 8, and I'm going to put number 8 right underneath. I promised I would erase, but I'm not going to. So number 8, they have a 5% markup. And so the price is $2.50 going up. So let's go back. So what did we do last time? You take this number and put it on top, $2.50 divided by 5% changed to a decimal. Well, 5% changed to a decimal is, move it twice, add it, it's 0.05. So 250 divided by 0.05. New price will be 250 divided by 0.05 plus, since we marked up, 250. That'll give us the new price answer. I'm going to let you figure those out on your own, okay? Now, let's look at 9 and 10, because these get to be the tricky ones. 9 and 10, they're exactly the same in the way you figure them out. So if you figure out 9, you should be able to figure out 10. Okay, now this one, they give us the percent of change, and then they give us the new price. So, in order to figure out what the old price was, you would have taken the amount of change times the percent of change. We don't have that here this time. We don't have the amount of change times the percent of change. We don't have that. And as a matter of fact, we're taking 20% of the old price. So the answer, this new price, is actually, after we've done, and it said a 20% discount. So this is the new price after we've taken 20% off. Okay? So in order to find out what the old price was, we have to actually do this. Okay? If the old price was 100% and we took off 20%, the new price is 80% of, the word of means multiply, the old price. Okay? Does that make sense? So the new price is 80% of the old price. So what we do is we take the new price times 80%. As a decimal, that's 0.80. Okay? So once we do that, we find out what the old price is. And that old price will be, to find the amount of change then, we'll take that answer, 160, I did that wrong. I don't multiply it. So the new price is 80% of the old price. I did it wrong. You got to take 160 divided by 80%. So 160 divided by 80% will give me what the amount of change was. Or will give me the old price. Mr. Lindblad's going to check his answer. I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. Yes, that would give me the old price. And then so to find the amount of change, I'm going to take the old price and subtract the new price, and that will give me my amount of change. The reason I subtract is because it's a discount. All right, I worked that one correctly. Woo! Okay, now let's look at 10, because 10's got another facet or an idea of it. This one's an actual markup. And they don't just mark it up by a small amount, they actually mark it up 150%. Okay, so that makes $50. Okay, so we're doing the opposite. Okay, and so what we've got to think about is that the new price is 150% more than the old price, not less than this time. Okay, so in order to get that, you've got to take, Mr. Lindblad's going to check his answer again to make sure before he tells you. No. So if the old price is 100%, oh, right. The new price would be 50 divided by 1. Aha, okay. So if it's 150, this situation, the last time we said, okay, the old price is 100%. The markup is 150. So instead of subtracting this like we did on that one, we're going to add the 150%. On a markup, you add the percent to 100%. So it's kind of strange. Then we change this to 150% to a decimal. So it's 2.5, and 50 divided by 2.50 will give us the correct old price. And then that answer, 50 divided by 2.40, will be the amount of change plus 50 will give us the amount of change we want. Actually, not plus 50, minus 50. Actually, we're going to go 50 minus, because this will actually be the larger number this time, because it was a mark up. That's why we're minusing it from 50 to get it correct. There we go. Wow. Whew. Some tricky stuff there, even for Mr. Lindblad. Sometimes he always gets a little tricked up by that, so he has to walk through it. All right? So that's how we set up each one of those problems. Okay, to find the old price on number 9, you divide 160 by 0.8, and then that answer, you subtract it from 160 from it to get the amount of change. On number 10, it's 50 divided by 2.50. That will give you the old price answer there. And then you take 50 minus that to give you the amount of change. All right? Those are the step-by-step procedures. Okay? Don't get too caught up in how to do that, although it's really good if you can think it through and the reason why we have to do it that way. All right? It would be easier if I could be in person to talk you through it and talk about it. Maybe we'll talk a little bit more on this on Wednesday to discuss it. Okay? Good luck on this. That's how you do the 5 problems we got to do today. Hope you get the answers, all right? If you got questions, email me. Let me know, all right? We can walk through it there. I can set up a special Zoom meeting just for us to talk through it, okay? Let me know. All right, talk to you later.